Alright, today is Ascension Day. We get the final dust needed for our second ever 6-star Ascension, and this is a massive deal, right? And yesterday I posted the 15 best Ascensions for your account, and today I'm gonna do the 10 most underrated Ascensions that you should definitely consider because these champions are just super underrated and just super powerful characters as well on both attack and defense, or maybe just attack. And by the way, I still feel like the best Ascension is your favorite champion, and all the gameplay in this video is from the content creator beta. So first up, 2 honorable mentions, and the first one is going to be Cersei and then Omega Red. These champions are phenomenal, and they are honorable mentions because I feel like Cersei doesn't have too much sauce on attack. She is a great damage dealer, but she kind of falls out of meta very fast because her utility just isn't necessarily there, right? And Omega Red is a monster and a half, but Omega Red is really situational, right? He wants recoils, which isn't always ideal for an account or for like battlegrounds in general, so that's already a pretty big drawback, but when he does work, he is unreal, right? He is just so powerful. So I think Cersei is great for sure, and the extra health will make her even more annoying on defense, and she'll be a somewhat better attacker as well, while Omega Red will just be even more versatile and have a much wider range because Omega Red, his damage output works to where the higher the health pool, the more he struggles a bit, right? But having that extra damage output will just do a ton for him. But now let's talk about number 10 on this list, and number 10 is going to be one of my favorites personally. It is Longshot. Now Longshot just isn't given his credit nearly enough, right? He is such a powerful character. His buff control is insane, especially if he is max sig, and when he is max sig, he is a monstrous defender. That nullify is super annoying, and in the right matchup, he is just a pain and a half to fight on defense. And on attack, he is just so good against buff heavy characters, but not only just that, when he is ascended, he can just take a lot of non-buff matchups as well, which is why I think that Ascended Longshot is a great play for both attack and defense, because he gets more reach, he gets to do more matchups, and on defense, he is a lot more annoying to deal with that higher health pool. So I think this is a great Ascension. Longshot, so underrated still, man. He is not given enough credit at all. He is just an amazing character, and I feel like he will just do a ton whenever he is ascended. So yeah, number 10 is Longshot, and number 9 is Spider-Man Stark Enhanced. This character is crazy on attack, like utterly crazy. His damage output is just so unreal, and when you ascend him, he becomes a lot more safe to play. And Stark's biggest downside is his like squishy health pool, right? But adding some more health to his overall base stats does a ton for him, and having more damage output makes the fights quicker, so there is less room for error. But yeah, Stark Spidey is incredible, a really good damage dealer, and he just has a lot of versatility as well with the power drain, the taunt, the stun. So if you want a pure attacker that is just a monster pretty much all the time, Stark Spidey is your guy. But if you want a good dual threat, then number 8, Spider-Man Supreme, is definitely your guy. This dude is incredible. He is such a strong damage dealer, and the best part is, on defense, he is pretty dang annoying, right? But his downside on defense is that his health pool is just way too low, and it makes him kind of a joke if he's at a low rank, but if he is ascended, he will do a ton of work on defense, and he'll be an even better attacker, which he already is a crazy strong attacker. And this guy just doesn't get enough credit. He is such a strong champion, and I feel like he can just take so many fights, and he does it with absolute ease. He is also really safe to play despite the low health because of his very strong phase, and additionally, if he's ever a 7-star character, that doesn't matter because this dude really wants max sig. So having an ascended max sig Spider-Man will be good for a very long time. So this guy is incredible. He is like one of the two champions that I really want to ascend with this ascension. The second one is later on in this list. But yeah, he is such a good champion, man. He is so fantastic. And I feel like as time goes on, he'll just go up in value and he is just going to be a workhorse for your account. So yeah, this guy is just great. He has a ton of damage output. He has a ton of safety as well. And having that extra damage will be great for defense, which is pretty important for him. And yeah, that is number 8. And number 7 is Havoc. Now, Havoc is a very cool champion, and I feel like he never falls out of meta because he always has just a really annoying kit to deal with, and on attack, he is just very versatile as well. His non-contact hits are amazing for like Atuma and Korg, and his defensive prowess is just really strong because if you don't have an armor up, you are just done for, right? But you can just burst down a low-level Havoc, but an Ascended Havoc is gonna just be insane on defense with the wrong counter. And on attack, he still has a ton of value for those non-contact hits and just having that very steady DOT as well. So I feel like Havoc is a great champion still to this day, and he'll never be a bad character, right? Because what he does is still pretty dang unique and pretty dang rare, and pair that with his defensive kit and you have a great Ascension that is a great two-way character as well. So yeah, number 7, Havoc, and number 6 is the Hood. I feel like the Hood has the biggest underrated fan base out there. He might be underrated still, but yeah, his fans are very vocal about him, to say the least. This dude has a ton of fans at this point, and he is just a great champion overall. He has a really, really strong kit on the attack spectrum, and I gotta watch my words because I know the Hood fans are everywhere, so I want to just, play it safe, just only say compliments. He has some of the best buff control in the game. His damage output is phenomenal. He is just very versatile as well, and I feel like an Ascended Hood is a good idea because his max sig ability is pretty dang sweet, and he might be too good to be a 7-star for a while, right? Of course, he'll be added eventually, but I feel like he is on course to be added a pretty long time from now. So yeah, the Hood, great champion. Please don't hurt me, Hood fans. But yeah, he is number 6 on this list. And number 5 is Masacre. This dude is insane. Just genuinely crazy strong. It's insane how he isn't talked about enough. Now he is because of Battlegrounds, but I feel like people still underrate him. I feel like he is easily a top 5 skill champion in the game. It's because of the damage, right? And when you ascend him, he gets more reach for his damage output, so he just takes so many fights, and it is just not funny, man. He is just so strong on the damage spectrum. He just gets fights done so fast. And yeah, man, I feel like he is a great champion, a great Ascension choice if you want just some extra attack firepower, because he can just do so many fights, and he is currently tactic as well, so that is also pretty dang sweet. So he'll just have a ton of value for a very long time. And a 7-star Masacre, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not coming soon at all, because his damage output is just that good. So yeah, Masacre, number 5 for sure. And number 4 is someone who is honestly just as crazy, and it is Stealth Suit Spider-Man. This dude is crazy strong. Crazy strong, man. His slow, his just overall damage output, it is just genuinely absurd. He counters miss, he counters unstoppable and evade. He has such strong DPS, and he also has precision, which bypasses challenger rating and all that. It is so useful to have him ranked up, and he is currently tactic right now, and they love making him tactic. So he's going to be good for a very long time. And additionally, he does want max sig for the most damage output. So Ascended Stealthy will triumph over a 7-star rank 2-1 for a very long time. So yeah, this dude is just crazy good. A very strong Battlegrounds attacker, and his low health pool is made up for whenever he is ascended. So keep that in mind. If you want a stronger stealth Spidey, a more safe stealth Spidey, then ascending him is a great idea for sure. So he is number 4. And now it's time for the top 3. And number 3 is Cassie Lang. This girl is also just really strong. She is a great attacker. She is currently tactic as well. And with Cassie Lang, she just has so much reach. Her taunt is broken, like it's so strong, and adding more health to her makes her just one of the most tankiest champions in the game because her health pool is already pretty good, right? But that taunt is just so powerful. And her power sting scale off a base attack, so adding more attack to her, like adding more base attack, does a ton for the champion overall. So I feel like she has a very good reason to be ascended with that base attack scaling. And she will see a ton of use for a very long time. And Max Sig is great for her too for the power sting bonuses. So yeah, Cassie Lang, number 3, very strong character, still deserves more love. And so does number 2, which is Nova. I know, crazy, right? Nova being number 2 on a list. What year is it? It's 2023. Nova is a good champion now. It's time to admit it. This dude is so strong on both attack and defense. He is a monstrous defender, and having him ascended will just make him even more brutal, right? And additionally, his attack value is just getting stronger. The non-contact mediums are incredible, and it lets him take a ton of fights like Atuma, Korg, just a lot of hard fights, and pair that with increased attack rating from Ascension, and he just becomes insanely versatile. So yeah, Nova, number 2 for sure, and number 1 is Adam Warlock, the second champion I'm considering to ascend. So yeah, this man is crazy strong. His damage output is incredible. Very strong damage. Is he hard to play? Sometimes, but when you learn his mechanics, he becomes a lot easier to master. And Adam Warlock is a very strong defender as well, but a drawback for Adam Warlock is his low health pool. So adding more health to him makes him a lot more annoying on defense. And I feel like the biggest draw for him right now is the Necropolis. He can take long fights with ease. He can take short fights with ease. For medium fights, he's also amazing for them. I feel like he just has so much reach, right? And ascending him will just do a ton for him overall, on defense especially, but on attack as well, which he's already really good at, right? So I feel like ascending Adam Warlock is just such a good idea, and if you know how to play him, he will just do a ton of work for you. So yeah, Adam Warlock is for sure, I think, the best underrated Ascension to do. And he might even be just like one of the best Ascensions flat out, right? But yeah, this is my list. I feel like all these champions are just so powerful, right? And they all have a ton of value on either attack or defense or just both. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on this list. And yeah, that's about it for me.